congratulations on senior year being out. That's huge. What has it been like
Thank you.
kind of building up to this moment and now having it out across the globe?
You know, it's funny. I had said again and again when people asked me about it prior to it coming out, I just won't believe that this movie is real until I see it with my own eyes. And we got to see it at the peak premiere, and it was awesome at the Paramount lot, but it doesn't feel the same without a full audience. And so at the premiere, when we really got to see it with all of the cast and crew who helped make it, it was so lovely. Um, and then I think coming back from LA to New York and then getting COVID, I've just been kind of stuck in my house, and I obviously like watched it with my partner who also has COVID, but it's kind of been weird feeling like I'm not interacting with real humans. I've just been in this kind of social media bubble. And the support has been amazing, and everyone was so kind, and it's such like a feel good, irreverent, silly comedy. And I think that it definitely like it seemed to touch not only Gen Z but also millennial aged groups, which is really exciting, and I think that was the goal. But yeah, it's been wonderful. It's crazy to see that it went #1 in the world. I actually can't process that at all, and it's been super overwhelming, but I'm very grateful for the entire experience. And it's been absolutely wild getting reached out to by people from different countries saying, and it's also funny, and Gary mentioned how fascinating it is to see how it translates in other countries. Like I'm getting a lot of messages from Brazil saying that it's called back to prom. And I was like, okay, back to prom, period. But yeah, it's just been a whirlwind, honestly. My brain is still processing it all.
I mean, as you said, you've had time to do stuff like watch this movie because you had COVID.
Yeah.
But how many times have you watched it so far?
I've actually only watched it thrice.
Okay.
Peak premiere, actual premiere, and then one more time when it was officially out. But I have not watched it again since. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I watched it, it was actually pretty difficult. I'm a theater baby, so I actually have the privilege of not having to watch myself on stage every night. I enjoy not having to watch myself. And so the first time I saw it, I definitely thought, like no one should have to see their face that close. It's just not natural. But I'm getting more used to it. I think with people posting clips and watching it again, I feel more comfortable now.
Yeah, I mean, your
Yeah.
character, young Tiffany, has kind of blown up over social media. What's it like bringing her to life, but also seeing the reaction that fans have had?
Um, Bringing her to life was a little bit complex, I would say. She's a bully. She's a villain, but no villain thinks they're a villain. I said that on the carpet, I remember, because I think that she's a mean person because she's insecure herself, like any other high schooler. So when we first got cast, I had FaceTimed Zoe and we talked about who is Tiffany, why is she mean to other people, what makes her tick, what is her home life like things that maybe we could connect the dots with because we weren't together on set. So, but we still had to find that through line. Excuse me. But yeah, it's fun to see how people are like standing her, which is like kind of problematic because she literally tried to kill Stephanie, maybe not on purpose, but that's like a story for a different time. The memes are great. The MTV VH1 memes, which I don't think a lot of people know that was improv.
Really?
The majority of that scene was improv that they kept, and it was me, Alex, and Brandon, and we did a fun run, and it was our last take that day of shooting that scene. And Alex said, do whatever the hell you want. Like, it doesn't need to be right. I don't care. Brandon whispered into Alex's ear, I think, can we try MTV and VH1? We tried like Abercrombie and Hollister, I think. We tried, all the 2000s. And it ended up getting kept. Like the wink, the hair touch, and the hip swivel, LOL, were all improv. So I was shocked, like blew my mind that they got kept, but it was a really good time.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of behind the scenes moments, but do you have a favorite memory from your time on set?
I think um I think when we shot Pep Rally is my favorite memory. I had a lot of nerves building up to the day because I was not in Atlanta for the same amount of time. That's where we shot the film. I was not in Atlanta the same amount of time in Gowrie was. So when Gowrie had been practicing this choreo, running it every day, and I had not. So I only got one run with the other team members. I got one chance and then we shot it. And I had learned it from a video. I asked Brooke, one of our awesome choreographers, if I could have a video of her like basically marking it, and so I could just copy her. But I remember the day of the pep rally, I was like shaking. Also, fun fact, I had bronchitis throughout this entire movie. So between each take, I was like unwell. But I'm so glad the pep rally turned out the way it did. And the 2022 cast came. And I remember without their energy, I genuinely, Gracie, like don't think I would have survived.
Okay.
We had these giant current moving cranes. We had all of these giant overhead shots for the pep rally. And they were screaming bloody murder behind this camera, like, work, bitch, yes. They were like screaming at us. And we were like felt like toddlers and tiaras. And I remember pushing myself so, so hard. Alex was so kind. He kept asking if we needed a break, but I was just like, we can't take a break because we need to stay warm. Like my quads will literally seize if we stop right now. So we need to keep going. I want to say we did like 12 times. I've never pushed my body that much.
All that
And I'm
with
glad it doesn't look
bronchitis.
hard. Right. And I'm glad it seems like it doesn't look so hard whenever I watched it back, but doing it that many times with my lungs, like I was struggling for sure.
I mean, you're a trooper. It turned out great.
Thank you.
But what do you hope that fans watching this take from the film?
Oh, as raunchy and hilarious and irreverent as it is, I do hope that people take away that there's no amount of popularity or followers or likes or social media presence that can make you happy. It really is about the people in your life. And something else that has actually impacted me more the more that I watch it is the idea of telling the people you love that they don't count. I'm really guilty of that. And I always tell my partner, my parents, and my family that whenever they say something kind, it doesn't count because they have to tell me, but they don't have to tell you that. And it just is a wonderful reminder that people who love you need to be close to you, and people who light up for you and support you should be at the top of your priority list, not strangers who are making judgments about you and assumptions about you. Um, yeah, I think those are my takeaways. I would hope those are other people's takeaways as well.
Yeah, definitely. And talking more about this film, if you could describe it in 3 words as a whole, what would they be?
Mm. Nostalgic, feel good, irreverent.
Okay.
Those would be my three.
You came up with those very fast. Is there a reason?
I had to answer the question quite a bit on the carpet, and I think those three kind of tie in the movie. If I could have like wings, like enneagrams, so you have a wing, I would say maybe like it's Britney bitch, like as an adjective,
Okay.
and like raunchy. I don't know if that's the right word. Brene Brown would be like, is that the right word? I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe raunchy. I it's funny because so many old friends and family friends have reached out saying like we're gonna watch it, and they're maybe in their like 60s or 70s, and I'm like, oh, that's so kind, thank you so much. This is a rated R movie and it is very inappropriate. Like, please do know. Or people will be like, oh, I'm gonna show my baby, and I'm like, maybe you shouldn't show your baby. Like maybe your baby should watch a Coco Melon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think those are my three.
My last question for you. I know this is a huge release, but do you have any future projects that you could hint at or talk about?
I do. I'm very excited. I play a character. I don't know what this trend is with me playing these awfully mean women. Um, I am playing a character, Pearl, in a new series called Jade Armor. It's going to be on HBO and Cartoon Network. It's an animated series that follows Lan June, and it's an all-female creative team, and it was just an absolute blast doing the show. But it kind of follows Lan June and her, I want to say like Spider-Man-esque journey. She kind of is this she kind of is this chosen warrior and has to navigate being a high schooler with fighting crime with her best friends. And I am her, not only her high school bully, but also arch nemesis, superhero arch nemesis. I won't give away more than that, but yeah, Jade Armor's coming out soon. I'm very excited about that. And I don't know how much I can say about this other job, but it is quite the character as well on Gossip Girl, which
Okay.
was a blast. Yes, in season 2 of Gossip Girl. Look out for her. I don't know how much I can share, but I'll just say that XOXO.
Yes. I mean, I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you. I'll definitely be on the
Thank
lookout.
you.
But
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It was so great to finally meet you.
You too. Thank you so much, Gracie.